Alright, I'm just gonna say it. I'm so damn happy I don't have to play as Kait or JD for a while. Now, I'm not trying to start a war in the comments or anything like that, but let's be real. Those characters never hit the same way. Gears 4 and 5 tried something new, sure, but I think a lot of us were just kind of waiting for the day we could go back to what made Gears special in the first place. That grit, that raw, grounded energy, that unapologetic, testosterone-filled war story that didn't feel like it was trying to sell me a therapy session. And now, we're finally going back. Not just with Gears of War E-Day, but also with Reloaded, which lets us play through the original again, remastered, polished, and still carrying all that soul that made it iconic. I've played the original Gears campaign so many times by now, and I'll be real with you, I still love playing as Marcus. I still get hyped for that first prison break. I still get chills when that berserker roars for the first time, and I still laugh at the dumb jokes Baird tosses mid-fight. There's just something about this world and these characters that newer Gears titles could never really quite replicate. And that's what we're talking about today. So sit back, grab a drink, slap your mama. No, I'm just kidding. This is why I'm glad we're leaving Kait and JD behind, and why returning to Marcus Fenix is exactly what the franchise needs. Alright, let's start with the elephant in the room. Kait and JD. Now, I don't absolutely despise these characters, and I don't think they're the worst thing to ever happen to the series. But let's not pretend they're on the same level as Marcus, Dom, Cole, Baird, or even someone like Paddock, for crying out loud. Kait in particular always felt like she was written to be the middle of some drama that just didn't feel earned. Her story felt more like a side quest than an actual main storyline. It was heavy on the emotion, but it missed that core Gears energy. The themes, the tone, it was just off. Gears started to feel more like a Netflix series than a brutal war story.
This isn't about you, it's about me. I need to fix this.
And JD, man, they tried to give him his redemption arc in Gears 5, but it did not land because we never really cared about him to begin with. He just came across like a weird blend of bro energy and forced leadership. And the game really didn't do enough to make us invest in his growth. They were trying so hard to make these new characters the future of the franchise, but they forgot that Gears was never about clean heroes with perfect arcs. It was about broken people surviving an even more broken world. Kait and JD never felt like they were fighting for something real. They were just kind of there in the middle of a story that was trying to find itself. Now, there are people out there, believe it or not, who genuinely think the new Gears games are the best in the series. That's a wild take to me, because when you go back and play Gears 1 through 3, you can feel the love in every detail. From the gritty environments to the timing of the music stingers, to the way Marcus and Dom exchange these small, heavy lines that say so much with so little. There was so much passion poured into those games, and that's where we start seeing the difference. You play Gears 1, and there's this kind of unpolished magic to it. The movement is clunky in a good way. The combat has weight. The world feels filthy and alive. It's not trying to be perfect, it's just trying to immerse you. Now compare that to Gears 5. Visually, it's stunning. The snow, the lightning, the wind flares, the sound design, top tier. But it feels sterile. Too clean, too polished. It's like walking through a museum of what Gears used to be, but without the soul. Older Gears games had imperfections, but those imperfections were part of what made it iconic. There was grit to the way they were built, a personality. Every time you heard Marcus grunt through a reload, or Dom shout, "Damn, is this ever gonna end?" it felt real. The newer games, they've got the modern studio shine. That sense that 100 people in suits were watching over every creative decision. And that bleeds into the characters, the pacing, and the writing. When I'm playing Gears 5, I'm not thinking, hell yeah, let's tear through some Locust. I'm thinking, alright, let's get through this open world section and hope something cool happens. That's a problem. And that's why I'm working on a video soon, specifically about how the newer characters will never come close to the originals. Not because they're bad characters, but because they were not allowed to be what made Gears great in the first place. Now here's the truth. Marcus Fenix was never just a character. He was the embodiment of the Gears of War identity. He's rough, stoic, angry, and underneath all of that, there's a quiet pain he never talks about. That's the guy we followed through 3 games straight, and every moment felt earned. He never had this big emotional speech or a coming of age moment. He just kept moving forward because he had to. And the cool thing is, even in Reloaded, which is a campaign I've played a ridiculous number of times, I still find myself locked in. The intro, the escape from the prison, the moment Dom shows up and just says,
"Welcome back to the army, soldier."
that shit still hits me. It reminds me that Gears didn't need flashy gimmicks or big plot twists. It just needed Marcus. That grounded leadership, that sharp wit, that rage that was always boiling just under the surface, especially when you go deeper into the Locust tunnels and the world starts closing in on you. It's funny because people always talk about character growth, but Marcus did grow. You just had to pay attention. He went from this war-hardened prisoner to someone who was genuinely trying to protect what little humanity had left. And now in E-Day, we get to see the moment that forged him. The panic, the fear, the desperation. That's what excites me about Gears of War E-Day. I don't want another Chosen One storyline. I want survival. I want consequence. And Marcus delivers that every time. Now let's talk about E-Day for just a moment. If you're not hyped to play as Marcus on the first day the Locust came out of the ground, then I don't know what to tell you. That's the moment that started everything. That's ground zero for the trauma, the war, the friendships, and the betrayals. We've heard about it in passing for years, in the books, in dialogue, but we've never seen it. And the fact that the Coalition is actually going back to tell that story, with Marcus as the main character again, tells me they finally understand what the series needed. A much needed return to the core of Gears. The raw fear and fight that made it legendary. There's so much potential here. Seeing Marcus before he became the grizzled vet we know, seeing Dom before the weight of everything broke him, watching the world collapse in real time instead of through audio logs. It's gonna be messy, it's gonna be brutal, and if they do it right, it's gonna bring Gears back to the top. So yeah, I'm pretty fucking excited. I'm excited to play as Marcus in Reloaded again, even if I've played the story more times than I can count. And I'm even more excited to step into his younger version in E-Day and watch everything fall apart from the very beginning. Because Marcus gets it. He is Gears. And for the first time in a long while, it feels like Gears of War is finally back on track. And if you're someone who genuinely thinks the newer games are better, I respect that. But trust me when I say this, you're gonna want to stick around for my next video, because I'm gonna break down why these new characters will never come close to the originals, and why that's okay. Not every story has to be reinvented. Sometimes you just need to go back to what worked, and double down on it. Let me know in the comments if you're as hyped as I am for E-Day. And if you're a diehard Gears fan, drop your favorite Marcus moment below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.